Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., together with First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos.
Senate President Chief Escudero, House Speaker Martin Romualdez,
Excellency, the Speaker. I've been telling him that
Senate President Chief Escudero, House Speaker Martin Romualdez, the Vice Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and the Moroccan Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Mohamed Rida El Fassi, the Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, and at this point I have to say that, gentlemen, you look so well in your barongs, but as ever, the ladies have outshone us, as they are resplendent in our national costume, in our terno. The palace is generally a very serious place, and you have brought a bit of charm to the proceedings. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, the honorable members of the Cabinet, Foreign Affairs Acting Secretary Charles Jose, and of course, First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, my fellow workers in government, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is always with joy that I once again welcome all of you today as we join the entire nation in this proud occasion of celebrating the 127th anniversary of Philippine independence. From the birth of our statehood to this day, the country has forged a path to developing its national identity that is guided by the values of freedom and of democracy, as inspired by our own struggles. The bravery of our ancestors is certainly not lost on us. The virtue continues to flow in the veins of all Filipinos as a proud race that is known to have stood against mightier foes, both in times of peace and in conflict. Today, we muster once again that same courage in the face of new challenges confronting the nation and the world. When I first took office 3 years ago, my marching orders to our Department of Foreign Affairs and our foreign services were clear: reintroduce the Philippines to the world. Inform the global community that the Philippines is open for business and that we seek mutually beneficial cooperation with countries around the world who share our values and our aspirations. In a manner of speaking, these marching orders are similar to the gargantuan task our revolutionary government had to accomplish when the Philippines declared independence on this day in 1898, when our envoys had to secure international recognition of our nascent republic. 127 years later, our diplomats are tasked to secure international support for the Philippines' national development agenda and the global recognition of our role as a reliable partner, a trusted peacemaker, and an innovative pathfinder. I am pleased that we have made such great strides in this endeavor. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, with the indomitable spirit and resilience of the Filipino people, we have kept the torch of hard-won freedom lit and ablaze to this very day. And we have unremittingly defended our sovereignty and territorial integrity in the face of all adversity. Our country has since gone a long way from a fledgling republic to an active and responsible member of the community of nations. Our growth as a country has allowed us to play significant roles in the global discourse on climate change, human rights, migration, regional stability, and freedom in the seas, amongst other issues. More than that, we have also expanded our diplomacy to include serving as consensus builders between and amongst nations on issues of international significance. We have positioned ourselves on the world stage so we can participate in international dialogue, safeguard our national interest, and contribute to the common good. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, since taking the mantle of the presidency 3 years ago, I have made several pronouncements about charting an independent foreign policy as a constitutional mandate. Our independent foreign policy is informed by our development goals and reflects our national priorities. Ours is a proactive policy that is true to ourselves, responsive to the needs and aspirations of our people. Our engagements with the world are geared towards building peace and cooperation and to foster enduring partnerships. We build bridges, not walls. We forge alliances that are based on mutual respect, reciprocity, and shared goals. Given our own domestic priorities for socio-economic transformation, our foreign policy promotes development through the strategic conduct of diplomacy. Our foreign policy strategic outlook is anchored in a long-term vision in Ambisyon Natin 2040 and the agenda of the Bagong Pilipinas, or the New Philippines. At this juncture, allow me to share some of the highlights of the state of play in the Philippine economy. I am pleased to note that the Philippine economy grew 5.4% in the first quarter of 2025 and is among the fastest in the ASEAN region despite rising global volatilities. This includes growth from major economic sectors of agriculture, forestry, fishing, industry, and services. We are confident that we will achieve the 6% growth target, the 6% GDP growth target in the coming quarters, driven by a steady fiscal consolidation, easing inflation, and progress in trade negotiation with key partners, amongst other initiatives. The forecast is supported by the IMF World Economic Outlook in April of 2025, which similarly painted a rosy projection for the Philippines to be the fastest growing economy among ASEAN 5 countries in 2025. Truly, the Philippines has become an economic standout in the region, owing to our demographic dividend that is young, future-ready, tech-savvy, fast-expanding digital economy, and business-friendly reforms. In particular, we have made key legislative and policy reforms aimed at improving the investment climate to both local and foreign investors. To mention a few, we enacted Republic Act number 12214 of the Capital Markets Efficiency Promotion Act, which will encourage ordinary Filipinos to invest in the Philippines capital markets and promote inclusive growth. We passed the corporate recovery and tax incentives of enterprises to maximize opportunities for reinvigorating the economy. A bit of a mouthful, so we've shortened it to the Create More Act, which is an enhanced incentives package designed to draw in more investors. The law specifically addresses concerns on value-added tax exemptions and gives investors the flexibility to enjoy income tax holidays. We have also signed a joint memorandum circular on strengthening the coordination and mechanism between and among investment facilitation network members, integration of the provisions of Executive Order number 18, series of 2023. This circular manifests our resolve to seriously end bureaucratic red tape, improve the ease of doing business, and make the Philippines a more attractive destination for investors. On inflation, I am proud to announce that the inflation rate dropped to 1.3% in May of 2025, which is the lowest since November of 2019. It's a very encouraging development, not only as it creates a stable and predictable economic environment for businesses, but also because it increases the purchasing power of individuals and of households, especially lower-income families. Adding to investors' confidence in the country is the exit of the Philippines from the Financial Action Task Force gray list,